Hi, Derek and Dave from ForeGolf Custom here, and we're here to review the M6 Fairway Wood from TaylorMade. This is a really quick-faced fairway wood, but be careful, there are some pitfalls to this fairway wood that we want to share with you. Looks great, put it down behind the ball, the frame behind the shot is brilliant, and the head looks super, but that comes with its own kind of negatives. What have you found with this?
I think the most confusing thing about the whole product tends to be there's so many different options that you potentially don't even know about.
Yeah.
So you've got a standard head, you've got a draw type head, you've got a lady's head. Now visually they all look the same. The draw's got a little bit of red marking down the bottom corner, it's the only differential feature. So you've got a multitude of different lofts. You've got 3 3-woods, one rocket, 14 degrees, one normal, 15 degrees, one draw, 16 degrees, one lady, 16.5 degrees.
Yeah.
So you've actually 4, in reality, fairway woods at 3 degrees, with 3 written on them. So I think the big thing to be cautious of, and is if you're going to go and buy them off a shelf, which this is a great product for that sort of thing, it's pretty much plug and play. Just be careful that you pick the right one up. So have a look for the 3 and then have a look for the loft.
So the key communication here, and welcome to the channel if you're just here for the first time, subscribe, like the information that we're sharing with you here, but look at the lofts on these fairway woods. It's really important. That's where you're going to pick up to understand how to space them. And also to figure out how to put what in the bag to get the best result.
And they're non-adjustable, so they're fixed. So once you bought it, you bought it. You can't up it and down it.
Very careful, folks. No adjustability in these M6s. So when you buy it, you own it, and that's it. So get the lofts right from the start. Length profile. I was doing some research on this, and I found the length of the 3-wood was pretty normal.
Yes.
And then this massive drop of an inch. So another pitfall. If you're buying it off the shelf standard, be careful. The lengths are different.
Yes.
Than normal.
And then when it goes back to the 5-wood, the 7-wood, there's actually a 9-wood in the model as well. Yeah. You go back to a more traditional loft profile. So just, as you say, be a little bit careful from 3 to 5, I guess.
This probably pulls in the whole fitting aspect. You may want to be fitted for this, just to make sure you get the right distance or the right lengths of shaft in order to coincide with the right distances. Yeah. And then obviously with your different loft settings from the different types of heads. Yeah. Shaft-wise, standard shaft is this Fujikura Atmos.
Pretty good, run-of-the-mill, cover as many people as you can type shaft.
Yeah, I mean, it's good in the ladies. There's the lightweight ladies. Yeah. There's it's a really good balanced weight, to be fair, and they've done a nice job, TaylorMade, with this shaft in that it does fit. I mean, we're probably saying this fairway wood's going to suit everybody. I mean, that's a bit of a... It's a bit of a sweeper term, and I know you're going to hear it out there online. The information here, though, is about fitting, and from what we see from our fittings, and what we found is that the majority of people love this fairway wood, and they hit it, and it flies, and they enjoy it, and it goes far. So the standard shaft isn't too bad.
Of course, it's very straight as well, which is the other added bonus.
It is, and I think that comes from a very well-placed CG and the way that they've designed the club head. But you said to me when we were doing the prep for it, you were saying, yeah, it's great, it does fit everybody, but you have found a few guys that it doesn't work for.
The only people that really struggle with it is the left one. What I mean, you've got the twisted face built into it. Fine, it helps keep things straight. But if you're left and going left again,
so if you're right-handed, folks, and you're coming across it, and your miss is left, so more of a hook or more swing left, that shaft isn't going to work in that Atmos, is it?
You've got to firm the tip up and firm the shaft up. You can still get the head to work, and then maybe go for a little bit, be the rocket, the stronger lofts rather than the weaker lofts. So you don't have to be looking at the loft profile as well.
So let's pull on that base, let's pull a bit of player profile. So we talked about this, and so I'm let's say a more mid-handicapper, fairly mid-swing speed, nothing too dramatic, maybe struggling to get the ball in the air a little bit. Yeah. What am I looking at, loft-wise, setting-wise, head-wise?
Well, if I pull this in from a fittings perspective, sometimes we use the lady's head for the gents, just because it's got an extra little bit of degree of loft on it. So you're 3 and 5 instead of being 15 and 18 in the standard head. If you use the lady's head, it doesn't say ladies on it. The head cover's the same, so you ain't got that as a problem.
But a little bit more loft.
Yeah, so 16.5 and 19.5 just helps get the ball up in the air a little bit easier, that's all.
And consequently, same kind of player, but I get across the line and I slice it or I cut it out to the right and I miss right. What am I looking at there?
So that's just a fairly common amateur problem. D-type in this situation is draw orientated. So the face angle is shut to help with the path of the ball cutting on you.
But they were smart in that they didn't paint it closed,
did
they?
They painted square. which again adds to the problems of going into a retail store,
which
is the D1 and which is it, because you put them down, they all look the same. So it's distinctive. So I guess it's just disguising the fact that it's draw biased, which isn't, again, whether you believe in it or not.
And then maybe I'm the slower swinger, maybe I'm a lady golfer, senior golfer, plenty out there that just don't know what to be buying. So I'm a slower speed, don't get the ball in the air quite well. I maybe struggle a bit off the fairway because it is the hardest club to hit off the deck
without a shadow
as part of your set. So slower speed, can't get it in the air. What sort of lofts and heads should I look at?
Just keep the lofts high. As I said, you go up to a 9 wood at 24 degrees of loft. So that's higher in loft than a Rescue 4. So if you're not a big hybrids player either, then you can go all the way down to 9 with loads of loft on it. Back it up with a 7, 5.
That's a great tip.
Maybe avoid the 3.
That's a great tip, worth subscribing for alone. Dave's top tip of the day. Don't necessarily go for a 3 wood because you think it's going to go further. Maybe go to your 5 wood because the loft on the 5 wood will get the ball in the air easier than a 3 and therefore could go further.
Absolutely,
There's lots of speed off these faces. So when you're doing that, the only last thing is, if we're getting all this distance, we're getting all these really good strikes and far, there's another problem. What's the last thing that you've noticed from a fitting side?
It's what you back it up with in behind it.
Right.
Or at the other end of it, does it actually go further than your driver? Because certainly the Rocket 3 is an unbelievable product off the tee. It goes long, straight, it's powerful.
As far as a driver in most cases.
Just got to be careful from that perspective that it doesn't back too far into your driver, and then make sure that your club in behind your weakest fairway wood, whether it be 5, 7, 9, can back it up for distance.
There's a lot of tour players putting 5 woods in the bag now. I see McIlroy drops a 5 wood in there every now and again, and so does some other players. So you're recommending the same thing? Just
to make sure that you've got gaps between things. So gapping, just make sure you've got a club to do the distances that you needed to go.
The look of this fairway wood is fantastic from the top line. It looks really square and even, and the strike off the face is crisp and solid and certainly gets the ball out there. In terms of the actual the design and the way that it's put together, they've got twist face in the fairway wood for the first time. This is the angle of the face in order to suit those off-center strikes if you're across the line. It'll help to keep the ball flight going straight. The CG location then in terms of the bottom is this pad. They've pulled the CG low into the back, which helps to flight the ball and keep the spin consistent across it. The actual speed pocket then in the front is where all that speed and energy is coming from. It's allowing the face to flex into it, which is giving it those speeds off the face. And finally, they have a carbon crown, which by saving the weight in the top, pushes it down into the CG and again allows for this lovely, even launch with good controlled spin. Hope you're enjoying the videos. Next up, we're doing the TaylorMade M6 Rescue Club. If there's anything you'd like us to do a buyer's guide on, why don't you stick it in the comments below, give me your suggestions, and we'll try and get a video out for you. Until then, I'll see you at the next video.
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2.
Jordash, catch up.
Simmer.